Yeah, you talked, I can't remember if it's a whole chapter, but you talk at length about something that I think is incredibly important, which is you've got to start before you're ready.
Start before you're ready, baby. Yes.
Like that is so critical. Walk people through what that is, why it's so important.
Yes. Okay, so I think one of the biggest things we can all do in life is tell ourselves this nasty little lie, and we believe it. Oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to send that email to ask for the introduction. I'm not ready to go out with that particular promotion or to raise my prices or to have that deep conversation with my spouse. Whatever the case may be, I'm not ready yet. I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more experience. And I found that it's just a form of procrastination. And then before you know it, like 2 years, 5 years, a decade goes by, and you're just older and none the wiser, none the richer, none the more alive because you didn't even attack your dreams. I realized this when I was starting my dance career, and I was 25 at the time, which sadly in the dance world is a little bit over the hill when you're wanting to be a professional dancer. And I had never taken a dance class in my life. I had no training, no technique, nothing. And here I was starting to teach a hip hop class purely on passion and just like, oh, I think I can do it. And a woman was in the class. She came up to me afterwards and she was like, "You're pretty good," which, by the way, was such a shock to me because at that time my self-esteem was so in the toilet because I had such a string of failures back after back after back. And she's like, "You should come in and audition for this position I have. I work at MTV. We're working on a new show. We need a choreographer and producer." And I was like, "Are you serious, universe? Like, I am so green. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I am not ready for this opportunity." It made me want to throw up. But of course, I was 25 and not getting any younger. And this was a time when MTV was still like super big as a brand. And it was one of the things I grew up on. So I was like, this is like a dream come true. So I had a choice to make. Either I was going to sit there and be small and be like, "No, I'm not ready. Like, come back to me in a year or two." Like, that's not going to friggin' happen. Or I was going to suck it up and walk my ass over to the Viacom building, practically wanting to hurl in the trash can and just like go for it. And I went for it. And I booked that gig. And here's the thing, I was not great at it. Like, I got through being a choreographer and a producer at MTV, right? There was like people I was choreographing who had literally decades more experience in dance than I did. They were talking about dance terms that not only could I not perform physically, I didn't even know what the hell they were. However, that one opportunity and the friggin' massive growth that it produced, and I behaved professionally, of course, and I was honest, but it was like starting before I was ready led to me eventually becoming a Nike elite athlete, led me to eventually choreographing commercials for Reebok and Nike and other brands, doing all of these things. And I think starting before you're ready is one of the greatest secrets to kick your butt out of procrastination and into a world of growth.
Yeah, the phrase that I use is failure is the most information-rich data stream there is. Like, you're going to learn. And so going back to your notion about beliefs, it's like, if you have a belief that failing makes you a failure, which, let's see how fast I can get to it. You have a quote about this.
Yes.
That was awesome.
It's from Judge Pratt.
Do you know it right off the top of your head?
Judge Victoria Pratt?
No, I have one from you.
Oh, great. We can talk about both.
Let's see. Oh, God. Failure is just an event. It is not a characteristic.
Yes. So that is actually, that's the riff on Judge Victoria Pratt. So she was, she's a beautiful guest on Marie TV. She was a judge. And that was one of the, like, when I heard that out of her mouth, it was so incredibly moving because failure is just an event. It's not a characteristic. And here's one of the things that has really helped me in that regard. I win or I learn, but I never lose. I live my life by mantras. I'm a pretty simple girl. Like they, both, right? They work for me because I just repeat the things that I know are going to lead me in the right direction. So I win or I learn, but I never lose. What does that mean? It means that no matter what situation I put myself in, either I'm going to be a fucking baller and I'm going to knock it out of the park, or I'm going to learn a shit ton. And then I'm going to be like, okay, so I learned all this stuff, but I could do it next time. But I never lose. So I'm not attaching that identity. Does that mean that I never make silly mistake? Of course I do. Does that mean in the moment when I've wasted cash, when I've made a poor judgment call, when I've fallen flat on my face that I don't friggin' cry or feel like an idiot or absolutely want to cry in the corner or call someone and be like, I can't believe it, I'm so stupid. I absolutely do those things. I do those things. But then The moment I like actually take a breath and have a little perspective for a moment, I'm like, okay, I win or I learn, but I never lose. And that allows me to get back up, contextualize it, and keep on trucking.